Here's kind of my theory on the existence of everything that has ever been created. Okay. So this is spiritual, maybe a bit religious, maybe a bit delusional, maybe a bit scientific, maybe a bit whatever the fuck, right? So here I'm going to say it like a story, okay, of what I believe, and then I'll get into the depths of it as we go. I might go off topic, so just bear with me. Even if I go off topic, I promise you it's still going to be interesting if you care about this stuff. So, how I believe everything came to be was before Earth, right? Before everything, let's say the Big Bang is how the universe was created. Okay, the universe, the creation of the universe, right? And if the universe is infinite, then how did the universe even form if it's infinite? How long has it been formed? And this is such a crazy fucking mindfuck. Wait, okay, how long has the universe been formed? How long has it been infinity? Was it created in its entirety of infinity, or has it been infiniting forever? You know, how long has infinity been? And you can't say because it's infinity, right? And so if you think about the creation of the universe, which is infinite, you've got to think about how the fuck this shit happened, right? And here's what I say. I don't think anything ever happened. I think the creation of the universe is what... How do I explain this? The creation of the universe just is. It just is. It was never something that was created. It was never it's not something that can ever be destroyed. It is just there. It has been here since literally, like, if time doesn't exist, and here's is literally, this is how. Because when you think about the Big Bang Theory, right? Let's say, I don't even remember what it was. But something exploded and then boom, boom, planet, galaxy, star, Earth, people, humanity. Whoa. Big Bang Theory. Nah. I think all of these theories literally just come from what it is. And we're going to use the Big Bang Theory, but I'm going to zhuzh it up a little into what I believe. Okay? Okay. The Big Bang Theory, the creation of the universe. What if beyond the universe, there is just energy? Everything is energy, and that is scientific, right? That's what people have been studying this whole time, is just energy. And energy cannot be created nor destroyed. So what does that mean? That means that even if the Big Bang Theory were to happen, and you can try and disprove me, okay, I'm open to hearing theories, but if the Big Bang happened and the whole universe was and it exploded, boom, all of this happened, the universe and everything was created. If everything is energy and energy cannot be created nor destroyed, then where the fuck did it come from? Where the fuck did it come from? And the thing is that's what I say, at the core of fucking everything, it's just energy. Everything, if you let's say the videos where it's when I remember I'm on a floating rock and it zooms all the way out from me right here in my bedroom to the fucking whole galaxy. Let's think of it as we zoom all the way out into the fucking beyond the earth, beyond the moon, beyond the stars, beyond the galaxy, and go all the way to the core of what is existence of everything. And that is energy. Because when you strip everything down to the most basic layer, what is it? Energy. But when you're where does energy come from? I don't fucking know. I really don't fucking know. And so when they say, oh God, this is so weird, because now my mind's just running with a whole bunch of different things. When you think about God now too, right? Because now I'm okay, wait, that's so true. Who can create energy if it cannot be created nor destroyed? And if it cannot be created nor destroyed, how did it become? When you think about the Bible, and you think about how God created the fish, the birds, the plants, all of that is just energy. So yes, I do believe God can create fucking everything and created the earth and whatever, because he's just moving around energy. But when you think about it, at the existence of who is God, what is God? Is God like this, like an actual God? Is he an entity? Is he an angel? Or is he just energy? And when you think about this fucking ball of energy that is what everything comes from, this is the core of the entire existence of fucking everything is energy. All right? And let's say if energy is every single thing, then it's got to be able to observe itself, right? That's what it has. It has to be able to be conscious and all of this because I don't know, but it just has to be because that's what we are. We are energy interacting with itself, conscious of itself, and our souls is just more energy. Everything is a ball of, I feel like there's so many fucking layers to this weird ass shit. This is like, my brain is trying to comprehend this, but I need some goddamn air. When you think about it, our souls are energy, right? Think of it as this. That's why I say when they're dying, don't go into the light. The light is just energy. It's just energy. Because what is energy? Isn't energy light or some shit like that? I don't know. Okay, I'm not that sciencey, whatever. Our souls are just pieces of that light. And if we say the Big Bang Theory is real, then what if it is that the energy just expanded, or the energy decided to move around, right? Because if energy is in everything, and if you know about quantum physics, you know that energy cannot be created nor destroyed and can be in two places at once. So if energy can be in two places at once, that means that we, or energy, can experience itself. Because let's say energy is here, but if it's here, it can also be here. And if the energy is like this, it's experiencing itself, right? And I don't know how consciousness and all this shit comes into it, but when you think about spiritual stuff like that, and you think about how there are real psychics and there are real people who can, real channelers who can talk to spirits, who people who have passed on and things like that, it's kind of like, damn. And you know what? It could be something entirely different than them actually talking to a spirit themselves. It could be them, like, honestly just getting feelings and being able to envision and feel a life and energy that once, oh my god, that once was being experienced as a person. Does that make sense? Like, let's say I'm Teresa Caputo, okay? Wait. Let's say I'm Teresa Caputo, and this is the person that passed on, okay? And I'm telling you, who came to get a reading from me, Teresa Caputo, about your loved one who passed on, okay? Sorry if this is a horrible impression. It doesn't matter. So, and I'm over here not actually talking to her, but I am just feeling, I am envisioning, I am hearing, I am tasting, right? Pieces and things that you would understand, that you would understand, and that connects you to the energy that was this person, right? And if I'm simply just energy, then I can attach myself or something like that to the energy that was formed to be this person, right? And when I can connect myself to that energy, I can then compute that to you. And since you experience this energy, I am experiencing this energy because I am going in to experience this energy, not because I was put on this earth to live a life experiencing this energy / person. I am simply tapping into the experience that this energy was having as this person to then prove to you that I am familiar with the energy of this person, right? But at the end of the day, it's all just energy. So when you think about it, it's kind of like they're going back in the past, or going back into experiences, because you know what, I've also watched a lot of near death experience videos. Those interest me so fucking much. At one point, I'm not even gonna lie, I was like, damn, I would not be mad if I had a near death experience. I know they can be super traumatizing, which, so maybe I shouldn't wish that upon myself, but I was like, I'm so fucking curious. I'm so curious of what we can't see that I so want to fucking know, right? But I'm like, I feel like sometimes I don't even need to have near death experience to try and understand. I just need to really like remember, you know? Anywho, so I was watching near death experience videos, right, before I'd go to bed, so in case I had any dreams, because I think I had a dream of somewhere that can be what I would say is heaven, but it really just looked like earth without anything ever fucked up ever happening, you know? Anywho, so in these near death experience videos, they say they've been pulled into the bright white light, you know, and so then they're going, it's like they're out of their body, and they're like, you know, just literally like a ball of energy going around, and they can walk around. Let's say like I'm flying around my room as just this little ball of energy, and I'm just here like this, you know? So I'm not my body, which means honestly, you're not your body. You're just the energy that, oh my God, there's so much fucking energy in this world. This is crazy. Because if I at my core, my soul is just pure energy, then my body is also made up of just atoms and energy. Wait, is atoms different than energy? Maybe. If this made up of atoms and I'm energy, then can't you literally create your anything that you want just by the energies that you are being? Because, you know, people have bad energy or good energy, where you're like, I feel sad in here, or like this music is sad. It's because it's all vibes, and vibes is basically energy. Like the affluence or influence of energy, you know? It's like, think about a whole bunch of particles, and that's your energy, and then a whole bunch of particles of someone else, and say your particles are like white because you're calm or whatever, and then they're like super angry and their particles are red, and so then they're over here intermingling with your energy, and your white energy starts turning red a bit, right? Damn. Hold on, guys. This is actually some crazy stuff that I'm thinking about. 12 minutes of me not getting to a point, but I don't know. I didn't even finish what I was freaking talking about. So, near-death experiences, flying around the room, or flying around wherever they were, or they're getting sucked into this fucking portal or some shit like that, like they're falling, and then they're there, right? And it's just familiar entities / I don't want to say entities, but familiar energies, right? Familiar energies, like maybe their grandma, their grandpa, their uncle, their dog, some shit like that. And then they're over there and saying that they could read their contract of life and things like that. When you think about the contracts of life and the contracts you made in the spirit realm, I do believe that, because in the Bible, it talks about it as saying God is a judge, that the devil had to make a contract in order to, you know, like punish somebody or to fucking influence somebody, and with God. And it's just a whole bunch of like governmental things, but not in the way that the government is here, you know? Also, I believe in fucking wording, that words are spelled. So govern, and then mental, governing your mental. Literally govern. Oh my God, I'm getting sick. Governing your mental, because you are your mental. If you had no brain, what the fuck would you be? Nothing. You would literally just be a fucking meat sack. You would literally just be skin and bones. Skin and bones. And fucking nerves, tissue. But without your brain, without your conscience, not even without your brain, without your conscience, you are nothing. Nothing. You're not even, you're a zombie. right? So when you think about it, and trust me, I'm really thinking about this. If they can govern your conscious, and what is your conscious? Your conscious is beliefs. It's your, not your thoughts. It's your beliefs. It's you. It's lit. Oh my God, this is weird. You are everything that is in your conscious, which is your soul. Okay. So if the governmental can govern that mental, right? And make you think and believe that you are not this, but you are this, they gotcha. Anyway, before I get my ass killed, I rebuke that, Jesus. That's the familiar energies they would be seeing, right? When they go down the slide or the tunnel, shoot in the white light. Think about Coraline's tunnel, except instead of her crawling through, she's just falling in or whatever. And then they have the contract, right? When you think about it, when I say the core of everything is just energy, right? Where does the contracts and stuff come to play? I feel like there's fucking dimensions and levels to this shit. And I think that's kind of obvious, but I think it's so much deeper than we can even fucking process at all. You know, it's like at the very, I don't want to say it's like a pyramid. I think it's like a spiral, right? And I think like covering the entire spot, it's got to be, because if energy is everything, then everything can exist and has existed and will exist. Okay. And just in different dimensions, in different realms. This shit's weird. Let's say this whole spiral, right? It's like covered in like a big bubble, and that bubble is the existence of everything. And don't mean everything like the world. I mean everything like the universe, the infinite. It's the infinite. That's what it is. Energy is the infinite. And that's a big bubble. And in this big bubble are these spirals, right? And in these spirals, it's like every spiral is like a different fucking, or like, you know how Saturn has rings? Let's think of it as like rings. Oh my God, that makes so much sense. All right, think of Saturn, the ball of Saturn, the actual planet itself is the energy, right? That is what it is. And then all the rings around it, you know how it has a lot of, let's say there's like infinite rings. Every single ring is a different part of is a different dimension. And I don't mean dimension as like, oh, this I meant like Rick and Morty. Loki, yeah, like Rick and Morty. Literally, yeah, like Rick and Morty. Loki, kinda. Okay? But there is a dimension where it is more soul, you know, like our souls that can do these kind of contracts and things, right? And where you're like learning, and how Earth is a school and how living is a school and all that stuff. I feel like there's literally different dimensions and stuff like that. I literally am feeling like I'm going crazy, but do you understand what I mean? And if you know more, or if you have more ideas and thoughts, please let me know in the comments. Like, I promise you I'm gonna read them and respond to them. And if you don't believe me and think I'm fucking crazy, let me know in the comments. If you are like, damn girl, you're onto something, let me know. Or if you don't care, don't let me know. But that's just what this is stuff that like I really think about, but then I have to stop thinking about it because I'm like, all right, go crazy thinking about all this stuff. But basically, yeah, shit is weird when you think about it. Things are freaking weird. And also, side note, when you start talking about magic, like black magic, fucking spells and witchcraft and shit like that, like the fact that that is real, I know people don't believe in it, but the fact that it is real is like, how, like, to what fucking extent is what everything is, you know? Because it's like, okay, magic is real. People can talk to spirits that have passed on. People can communicate with your animals who can't talk. And it's like, where are we? And what are we really? You know? Really at the, like, ugh, you know what I mean? All right. I'm a peace out now. So I'm gonna catch y'all later. Love you. Bye.